It's February and we're pulling out all the stops to make a Valentine treat just for her. Welcome to Help at Home, your resource for great recipes and easy learning. I'm Jim Hightower. Today we're making a Valentine treat just for her. And don't worry, because next week we'll make one just for him. So, first of all, you'll need a decorative Valentine cake pan. I'll put a picture of one up because this one has been retired. I've had it for about 5 years, I think. It's called the Wilton Dimensions Crown of Hearts pan. Search it out, you can find some. They're just not as cheap as they used to be. At any rate, because it's a dark non-stick pan, you need to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. If yours is not dark non-stick, you can go for 350. We're making the delicious white cake from the 1950 Betty Croker Cookbook. One of my favorite cakes, one of my favorite cookbooks. And, grab your pen and paper, here come the ingredients. You'll need 1/3 cup soft butter, 1/3 cup soft white shortening like Crisco, 1 3/4 cup sugar. For my favorite diabetics, you know the drill. Half that with the Splenda Sugar Blend, which comes out to 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. Then you'll need 2 2/3 cups flour, 3 1/2 teaspoons baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1 1/3 cups thin milk, that's half milk, half water, 2 teaspoons flavoring, so that would be vanilla. However, if you want to make this, sweet and more romantic, you can go for the wedding cake flavor, which would be 1 1/2 teaspoons vanilla and 1/2 teaspoon of almond flavoring. That's a tip. 4 egg whites beaten stiffly. You know the drill. We've got to prepare the pan. That means about 2 tablespoons of melted butter, tablespoon or so of flour. Mix it together, baste it in. It doesn't take a whole lot, but a pan like this with all these crevices, you just have to be careful and make sure that you get it in there very well and take your time. Now, let's talk about this decoration. This cake pan has an indentation on top, and that's going to be part of our decoration with some melted chocolate. So you want to get a nice cheap pan that has an indentation. Be sure and look up here again. By the way, I need to give out a Christmas thank you. Oklahoma Droner, one of my friends and subscribers, gave me this nice life happens. It'll happen to you. Let's try that again. Oklahoma Droner gave me this nice scraping paddle attachment at Christmas, and it's just wonderful. So I'm going to use that today. I have my sugar and white shortening. In she goes. And I have my butter. Alright, let's start mixing. And you just want to mix this up until it's light and fluffy. It doesn't take but a couple minutes. Now, the squeaking is from the paddle. When it doesn't have moisture in there, it's a little squeaky. Next, we alternate with our dry ingredients and our thin milk, and you add the flavoring to your thin milk. So, just add a little in, pour a little in, add a little more, and you've seen the drill. Mix it up light and fluffy once again. That's it. The next thing we need to do is to whip up our egg whites. I have 4 egg whites in my bowl. I also have just a pinch, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar to go in there. It helps to stabilize and hold up those firm egg whites when we get them fluffy. Start off slow. You want to kind of break them apart, that gelatinous quality, till they're foamy. And then as it goes, you can just gradually speed up your mixer till you're on high, as long as it doesn't go whang. And it should probably take anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes, especially if your egg whites are at room temperature. wire whip attachment starts making little designs in there, you're getting close to your soft peaks. That's actually closer to your stiff peaks. I'm surprised. But just a little bit more. But if you overbeat them, they'll get dry and granular, and you'll just have to start over. Nobody wants that. Maybe 15 seconds. But see, those designs start holding up and they're getting firm. It's almost done. I think that's about it. There you go. See that little tip? That's not going anywhere. That's firm egg whites. Bring your cake batter here, and what you're going to do is put about 1/4 of your egg whites in there, and we're just going to start this drop and turn, this folding technique. You don't want to come in and whip it to mix it, because you'll deflate your egg whites and then your cake won't be nice and fluffy. But you'll notice that your batter will start to get not thinner but looser. It won't be so heavy, and that's what makes it great. So drop, turn over, drop, turn over, turning your bowl. You know this drill. And we'll put, I guess we can go ahead and put all of it. We just mix this in very quickly, very simply. The next thing we're going to do is add a little bit of sparkle to this cake for her. Let's take about 2 cups of this batter, put it into a 2-cup measure. I use these Wilton gel icing colors, but it's food coloring. You can use it for anything. It lasts forever, and just a little dab will do you. See this? You just put it right in the middle of your stuff. If I end up needing more color, I always get a new butter knife. Now check this out. This is cool. Get a hand mixer with 1 beater on it and use that to slowly mix in your color. You can speed it up. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Pour a nice amount into your bottom, but make sure that you leave yourself half. Go ahead and spread it over into your corners and things. Start pouring your pink batter all around. And you can pour it in the middle. Just get it wherever you want it. If you wanted to get a spatula and run it through there to mix the colors more, you could. But when you do this way, it puts the pink in the middle of the cake. So just pour the rest in. You know what? I have to do this. This is so darn good. One of my favorite recipes. You're looking like, oh, I can see pink through there. Oh no. It doesn't matter. Just shimmy it, shake it a little bit, put it into your oven, 325 for 50 minutes. Leave it alone. You'll be amazed at the designs you get, and sometimes you can even see some of the red on the outer edges of your heart, which is really cool. Here it is, just out of the oven. This was about 50 or 52 minutes at 325 because this was a dark non-stick pan. Now, it just needs to cool for about 12 or 15 minutes before you try to unmold it. Now that it's been 15 minutes, we need to unmold it. You know the double rack technique. Put one on top, one on bottom, hold it firmly, turn it over, do that. And there you go. Before we move on to the next step, we need to let this cool to room temperature, 30 minutes to an hour at least. Take 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, give about 1 teaspoon of cooking oil, salad oil, heat it up 30 minutes at a time, stir until it's nice, and it should be a nice, satiny, silky color. And if you overheat it, it'll kind of dry up and get gritty, and you can't recover. You'll have to start over. Now, this is the fun part. Remember, our pan gave this heart indentation to our cake. Now, we're just going to pour this melted chocolate right into the heart indentation. Now, you can start off with a little less than you think you need. Carefully use your butter knife to just kind of spread it around. Over the years, I've learned through trial and error, the least amount of spreading with your knife, the better. Check this out. You want to do the shimmy and the shake. And I'm not talking about this. Do a little shimmy, do a little shake. Perfect! You didn't know you're a chef, but you are. Look at that. That's going to sit just perfect. What I do is put it in the refrigerator for a minimum of 30 minutes. You want it to be set. Alright, here it is. This is about 40-45 minutes in the refrigerator in a very top cool position. Now we're going to make a thin pink icing to decorate our chocolate heart with. Now I've started off with 1 cup of powdered sugar, and I had 1/4 cup of milk, and I've been adding just 2 tablespoons of milk at a time. I want it to be thin. Don't know, that's getting pretty close. It's always an experiment because with atmospheric conditions, heat, cold, humidity, you may need more or less milk. Remember, your powdered sugar is not only sweet, but it acts like flour in something like this. You get it too runny, add more powdered sugar. You get it too thick, add more milk. You also know this drill of getting just a tiny bit of our pink gel food coloring. This is a small amount, so there you go. If you're not too careful, you can end up with a super neon pink. And as Julia would say, which is never really nice. So let's mix our color in. Alright, I am on the edge of a neon pink, but who cares? I want you to see this consistency. Fairly runny. Kind of a thin Pepto-Bismol. Get a nice spoon of it, and then just go back and forth. Now, that's your heart. I like to do this so it's not too thin, not too thick, very creative, kind of a modern look. And you just drizzle to your heart's content. And if you make a mess, you clean it up later. And that's pretty much it. That's just super yummy and super impressive. Who wouldn't love that? If you like this recipe for a special Valentine's treat just for her, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends who like to cook or just want to learn how. Drop me a line in the comments below about your experiences with this recipe and what else you'd like to see in the kitchen. Click the bell in the top right hand corner for notifications. I'm Jim Hightower, and remember, everyone needs help, even me. Happy Valentine's Day. Early. Welcome to... Welcome back. And easy learning. I'm Jim Hightower. I don't like it. Flopper. Drop me a line in the comments below about your experiences with this recipe. Flopper.